rally at the Coliseum. West Virginia in all white, Iowa State in all red. Action is underway in Morgantown. Our referees tonight, Scott Yarbrough, Brian Enterline, and Meta Christensen. Jayla Hemingway to the right wing corner to Madison Smith. 15 to shoot on the opening possession. Kari Nyblack, another one of those seniors recognized before the game. She draws a foul.
Yeah, going right at Iowa State. You're going to see West Virginia try to pound this ball inside and be the more physical team tonight.
Great coaching matchup in this one. More than 1,400 wins between Bill Fenley and Mike Carey. Coach Fenley of Iowa State in his 27th season at ISU with 730 career wins to his credit.
Yeah, fourth longest tenured Power 5 men's or women's basketball coach. You really don't see coaches stick around in a program as long as he has.
Nyblack, the native of Leesburg, Florida, missed the first. She's got the second. 74% free throw shooter on the year. Mountaineers up one early. Zanarski with the drive, the putback by Kane.
Yeah, nice job, nice crossover, got all the way to the rim. West Virginia going to want to keep those guards on the perimeter, make them score over them.
Mountaineers starting Hemingway, Martinez, Nyblack, Smith, and Quinterly. That one rolls in and out. Nyblack scoops up the offensive board. It's Hemingway from deep. No good. Quinterly tried to save it, but it's whistled out of play. Mike Carey in his 21st season as the head coach of the Mountaineers. 734 career victories at all levels of collegiate basketball. 446 of those coming at West Virginia. There's a sign on 3rd Street in Clarksburg that says the proud home of Mike Carey in Clarksburg, West Virginia. Zanarski traveled on the right wing.
Yeah, nice job there. West Virginia guarding that flare screen.
So, Jason, interesting matchup for West Virginia tonight. Iowa State, a team that can really shoot it, maybe not terribly aggressive defensively. West Virginia, practically the complete opposite.
Yeah, we got a battle of wills here. Iowa State going to play a slacking man, keep everything in front. West Virginia want to be really, really aggressive in their man. Iowa State wants to shoot the three. West Virginia wants to pound it inside on offense. We got a battle of wills in this one.
90 seconds in, and Kari Nyblack has done all the scoring for the Mountaineers. Emily Ryan in possession on the left wing. Throws one inside, an errant pass from Ryan, which is rare. She's the leader in the Big 12 in assists with 209 entering tonight's contest.
Yeah, and if Iowa State's going to really play tonight, they're going to play through Emily Ryan.
Quinterly making her 10th start in a row in KK Dean's absence. She traveled there for a turnover. Dean's, of course, picked up an injury against Baylor back at the end of January, has missed the last 9 contests. She's done for the year with a knee injury. But in that time since, Coach, Smith, Quinterly, West Virginia's 2 starting guards, they've been terrific.
Absolutely. Quinterly, a girl used to coming off the bench, has really kind of thrived in this starting role.
We've got a whistle and a stoppage of play. I believe it was a foul after the shot.
Yeah, I believe that's going to be Kari Nyblack. Again, after the shot, a foul on the rebound, called for a push.
So 1 foul apiece in the early goings. Mountaineers with a 1-point lead. Ryan kicks it to the corner to Nymir Dew, wide open for 3, but it's no good, and Nyblack has the board.
And that's what Iowa State wants to do. They want to shoot that 3. West Virginia, you're going to see offensively, really wants to pound it inside. Iowa State wants to chuck the 3.
Smith on the wing working against Ryan. Tough take off the side of the glass. Iowa State going with its 10th different starting lineup combo. And an offensive foul, they're going to whistle Beatrice Jordow inside the paint.
Yeah, called for a moving screen here. Iowa State known to set a lot of screens on the perimeter to try to free up their shooters.
Cyclones 1 for 3 in the early goings with a pair of turnovers.
Yeah, West Virginia done a nice job with defensive pressure. Did get beat one time to the rim, but really done a good job of keeping Iowa State in front while not allowing them just to get open looks.
personnel on the floor for the Cyclones. Donarski, Jordow, Ryan, and Ashley Jones. Another whistle and another foul on Jordow, so she's going to take a seat immediately. And Kane, who started, will re-enter.
Yeah, and West Virginia's been really deliberate on offense going inside. On the right of screen, you'll see the foul picked up, trying to fight her way around that low post.
Quinterly dribble drive, that's tough. And it's 2 points for the Mountaineers. Quinterly averages just over 8 per game. She's been terrific in West Virginia's most recent contests. 9 starts, last 9 games, 34 minutes per game. She's had 9 games with 10-plus points this season. Another whistle, another stoppage, another offensive foul.
Yeah, Quinterly, like you said, Nick, one of those guards has really stepped in the absence of KKD. It's her and Maddie Smith. You know, over the last 9 games, 12.3 points per game. She's picked up some of that scoring slack, and she's eaten up some minutes for West Virginia as well.
So we've played just over 3 minutes of basketball, and 2 Cyclones already have 2 fouls. Jordow's on the bench. Kane came in to replace her. She's now on the bench with 2 fouls. That means Maggie Vick from Tennessee is getting her first minutes of the contest here. Esmery Martinez to Hemingway, 12 to shoot for West Virginia. Smith chucks up a 3, no good. Martinez fighting for the board, and it's Blessing Ejiofor, the new entrant, who has it for West Virginia. Hemingway, 12 to shoot for West Virginia. Smith chucks up a 3, no good. Martinez fighting for the board, and it's Blessing Ejiofor, the new entrant, who has it for West Virginia. Hemingway eyes another one, no good. And Dew scoops up the board for ISU.
Yeah, West Virginia shooting some threes here. I think Coach Carey would be a little bit more pleased to see that ball go inside out first. Not a problem shooting a 3, but let's get it inside the paint and see what happens.
Tough defense there by Hemingway, the Mississippi State transfer. She picks up a foul.
Something to keep an eye on Iowa State's offensive end of the floor. They're going to really spread you out, like we talked about, flare screens, ball screens, but they're going to spread you out. They really want to shoot that 3.
Mountaineers 2 for 7 from the field early, 0 for 3. Another foul down low. This one will be whistled against Quinterly. Got tied up with Donarski.
Yeah, the two were pretty tangled up for several bumps in there. Official tried to let it go. Nice piece of officiating there to try to let it go, but in the end had to blow the whistle.
Another foul inside. Lexi Donarski can't believe it. That's her first personal. Iowa State has already committed 5 team fouls.
Yeah, neither can Coach Finley. The two did really go at it. Quinterly picking up the first one. That time, it goes against Iowa State.
Martinez, long 2, no good. Donarski with the rebound.
Martinez, such a tough matchup. A post player that can step away from the rim, can really shoot the ball. Had 22 points at that double overtime victory at Kansas State.
Mountaineers force another turnover. Quinterly scoops it in for 2.
Yeah, speaking with Coach Carey this week in practice, West Virginia really needs to score on their transition from their break. If not, they want to be very deliberate in their offense.
6 turnovers for Iowa State, the number 8 team in the country. Madison Smith thought she might have had a charge, but it's another foul. That's Smith's first. We're going to get another look here at this great defensive play. Jason, this is what the Mountaineers do.
Absolutely. They get up and guard. They're in line. It's really tough to enter that ball to the wing, and Iowa State knows it. That's why you've seen some ball screens early to try to free up their ball handler.
Martinez almost intercepted the inbound pass. It's a 6-0 Mountaineer run as they're picking up the pace on defense. Iowa State won the previous meeting. First Big 12 game of the year played in Ames. Cyclones won that by 16, but they faced a much different Mountaineer squad than the one that's out there tonight. West Virginia only had 8 available players for that game.
Yeah, they were really hamstring with what they could do with their lineup. Really gave Iowa State a pretty decent fight that night in Ames. Ended up losing by 15, but I think in the end that probably prepared them a little bit for this game.
Dew had to get it up. She didn't hit the rim. It's a shot clock violation.
Checking in for Iowa State, number 13,
But again, it's some of that West Virginia defensive pressure, not really getting a good, clean look as Iowa State. Iowa State going a little zone here. Probably try to control their foul trouble a little bit. Keep West Virginia in front of them and really try to keep that ball out of the paint.
Ari Gray, who had 14 for West Virginia in the previous meeting, tried one there from the foul line, but missed it. Cyclones scoreless last 4.5 minutes. They've committed 6 turnovers in the first quarter. Maybe make it 7 here. Loose ball and a tie-up. It'll stay with the Cyclones. And we'll get our first stoppage of the evening. Mountaineers playing tough defense.
With this team, Niblack says she has yet to make her decision on her future for next season.
Thanks, Angelica. That's our sideline reporter, Angelica Trenome. We'll hear more from her throughout the night. Nick Farrell and Coach Jason White with you on Big 12 Now on ESPN+. Iowa State, the number 8 team in the country, off to an extremely slow start at the Coliseum. Scoreless in the last 5 minutes of action. Only bucket coming from Morgan Kane, who's on the bench with 2 fouls. That one from Ari Gray, not a good look.
Yeah, very uncharacteristic start. You're talking about not just a good three-point shooting team, one of the best in the country, one of the most efficient in the country. They lead the Big 12 in three-point field goal percentage at 38.8. They are, again, like we said, one of the most efficient three-point shooting teams in the nation. It's coming. If you're West Virginia, you know it's coming. You can't be surprised when some of those start to fall, because they will fall here at some point.
The Cyclones have scored a school record 304 three-pointers, ranking 2nd in the nation in three-pointers made. One of the players who hits quite a few of them is at the free throw line here. That's Ashley Jones, the program's all-time leading scorer. And she does connect on the first. 87% foul shooter this year.
Yeah, this is not a team in Iowa State that you want to put on that foul line.
And boy, Jason, look at these stats. 2 Cyclones have hit 75 three-pointers entering this game. Then you've got Aubrey Jones, the younger sister of Ashley Jones, who's got 59 to her credit.
Yeah, it's up and down the lineup. They're going to spread you out. They're going to shoot the three. You just got to be prepared for it. West Virginia done a good job early, running them off the three-point line, but not getting beat to the rim.
Quinterly answers the foul shots with another 2. She's got 6. Cyclones ended their scoring drought, but they still haven't hit a field goal in 5.5 minutes. They've also committed 6 turnovers, and West Virginia has capitalized for 6 points off those turnovers. Big defensive rebound there by Blessing Ejiofor. Smith goes inside to Martinez. Offensive foul. That's her first.
I think another thing to keep an eye on here, Nick, is not only just the defensive intensity of West Virginia, but if you're going to be successful, you got to own the glass here. You're supposed to be the more defensive, more physical team. You've got to own the glass. You can't give Iowa State second shot opportunities.
Jason, want to get your reaction to what Angelica reported a moment ago, that Madison Smith will be back with this program. What does that mean, not just for Mike Carey's squad, but also maybe for the growth of J.J. Quinterly, the young point guard?
Oh, I think it's huge. I think anytime you get a player coming back for a 5th year that's played as many minutes as Madison Smith, that's a huge boost for your program. But when you've got such a young talent in J.J. Quinterly, who gets another year to play with Maddie Smith and can get her off the ball where she can do what she's more natural of as being a scorer, I think that's huge for West Virginia, huge for Mike Carey's ball club.
Blessing Ejiofor picked up the foul there for West Virginia. By the way, it was Naimir Dew who hit the 3 a moment ago for the Cyclones, making her first start. Talked about the three-point shooting. There it is. Maybe it's coming.
Yeah, that might have been the one that got the lid off the bucket there for Iowa State. And again, Ashley Jones back at the foul line. It's just not a player you want to put there very often if you're West Virginia.
Jones misses that one. Now 2 for 3 here in the first quarter. Second one is up and good for the native of Iowa City, Iowa. And it's now a 1-point game. In there for West Virginia now is Quinterly, the leading scorer, takes a seat. Smith, Martinez with the ball. Samuel now has it. Ejiofor and Hemingway also in. Savannah Samuel for 3.
And I think if you're Coach Carey, that's what you want to see. The ball goes inside, into the post. Martinez to Samuel, and you're hitting a standstill step-in 3.
Samuel, another player that's been enjoying an uptick in minutes since KK Dean's injury, averaging 16 minutes per game. Not terribly good from beyond the arc, though. Just a 24% shooter on the season. Ejiofor hustling for it. Another tie-up. This time the arrow favors the Mountaineers.
Yeah, wisely. West Virginia doesn't take a timeout there. They know they have the error. Ball on the floor. Nice job. Both players get on the floor after. Again, wisely. Don't take a timeout right here. You have the arrow. If you're West Virginia, Iowa State, you want to try to get that possession back if you can. They would have been willing to take that timeout. West Virginia, nice job keeping it in their pocket.
After the hustle play, Ejiofor is going to take a seat with just over 2 minutes left in the opening period. Yamaya Morris has checked in for the Mountaineers, the 6'6", 50-year center. She had 14 points against the Cyclones last season. Last meeting, I should say. Smith long, Martinez rebound. Smith on the dribble drive has it stripped. Good defensive play by Donarski to force the turnover.
A nice hand right there. Good defense by Iowa State. West Virginia had a second chance opportunity off the offensive rebound. Couldn't capitalize.
What a block by Morris to reject Kane. Martinez on the other end.
Again, West Virginia getting out in transition. They've really become a nice transition team. One of the best transition teams in the Big 12.
Mountaineers by 6. They have 4 different scorers in the opening period. Donarski lost control of it, but Samuel was out of bounds when she touched it.
Maddie Smith does a nice job staying in front. Forces that pass. And here comes Martinez on the break. Wisely pulls up. Iowa State defender retreating, pulls up, hits the jumper.
That bucket made it a 6-point West Virginia lead, its largest lead of the game. Another strip, another Cyclones turnover. That's what J.J. Quinterly does best. Doesn't have the finish that time, though. Cyclones get it right back. Quinterly leads West Virginia in steals. She entered the game with 57 to her credit.
She's really making it tough on Iowa State to get into offense. That with the fact that her teammates are up the line. It's really hard for Iowa State to get a pass to those wings.
Mountaineers deflecting tons of passes to very aggressive man, 4 to shoot. Donarski steps back. No good, in and out, and Martinez has the board.
Yeah, I don't know how many times if you're West Virginia you're going to be able to live with going underneath that screen.
Traveling violation, Samuel on the far side. So clock stops with 33 seconds left in the opening period.
As you can see, Coach Carey just saying slow down. I mean, yes, you're out in transition, and I know you want to rip it and take that thing to the rim, but just calm down a second.
In for the Mountaineers, number 22, Blessing Ejiofor.
Cyclones in another scoring drought. They've gone the last 2.5 minutes without a field goal. They're just 1 for 5 from beyond the arc. And they're just 1 for their last 8 from the field overall.
This time Jones starting the offense as opposed to Ryan. So Quinterly done a nice job on Ryan. They're going to switch it up and see if Jones can have any kind of success here on Martinez.
She's got 6 to shoot. She can create her own shot. She takes it to the cup and will go to the line. She has yet to hit a field goal, but this will now be her 3rd trip to the foul line.
Her 2nd. At the line for Iowa State, Ashley.
If you're West Virginia, you really like to see somebody come and help there. You want to make Iowa State's best player pitch that ball. Don't let her get all the way to the rim.
So Jones again hits. That, by the way, is Martinez's 2nd foul.
And that could be huge. If you're West Virginia, you got to. She's done a nice job here on one of the best players in the country. If she has to go to the bench, who does West Virginia put on Jones?
What a take by Quinterly. Just missed it right. But still, the Mountaineers have a 4-point edge. Plus.com/Big 12 Now. Second quarter of action underway on Big 12 Now on ESPN Plus, with the Mountaineers leading the number 8 Cyclones by 4. Nick Farrell, Jason White, Angelica Trinone with you this evening. Wrapping up a doubleheader of basketball action at the Coliseum. Jordal opens the scoring for TCU, cuts the deficit to 2. 4th Cyclone on the score sheet.
Yeah, good offensive rebound. West Virginia got stuck, had to help on the drive, and that left Bordeaux wide open on that backside rebound.
Here's Samuel hit a 3 in the first quarter to Smith. 12 to shoot from the elbow. Tough one from Smith. Front iron, no good. J.J. Quinterly leads West Virginia in scoring through a period with 6. Ashley Jones has 5, with all of them coming from the free throw line. She's getting hassled down low. Gives it to Jordal, no good. Putback is up and in, and it's a tie ball game.
Back-to-back offensive rebounds for Iowa State and putbacks. Jones might have gotten by with a double dribble there.
Jordal, the native of Portugal, transferred from South Florida. Another whistle to stop play, and a turnover for the Mountaineers, 3 seconds.
West Virginia all over Jones. There it was. There was the second dribble. The ref says the ball was knocked away, which allowed her to dribble that ball, and Coach Mike Carey and his entire bench disagreed.
Coach, would you have been in the ref's ear about something like that?
Never.
I doubted it. Right, I doubted it. First time the game's been tied since it was scoreless at the very beginning of the contest. Hemingway strips it away. It'll stay with the Cyclones.
Iowa State showing some real discipline here. They haven't hit very many threes, but they know that. They're attacking the rim. They're getting to the rim. And again, they're scoring the ball here early in the second quarter on those offensive rebounds.
Donarski's going to take it right past Samuel. Just can't connect on the lay-in. Look at how quickly the Mountaineers push the tempo. Samuel on the other end, due with the rejection. Nyblack fighting for it. She goes down hard tonight. Would still be in the hunt to tie for a share of the Big 12 title. That would require Baylor to lose to Texas Tech tomorrow at home. But hey, got to win to give yourself a chance.
Absolutely. Stranger things have happened. If you're Iowa State, not only are you playing for seeding in the Big 12 tournament, you're playing for seeding in the national tournament. Right now, projected to be a 2 seed. You know, they're trying to boost that up, boost that resume, try to get to that 1 line, but definitely at worst case scenario, stay on the 2 line.
Hemingway's shot is tipped. I believe it was Dew who got a piece of it. Cyclones had a little bit of foul trouble early. Long scoring droughts in the first quarter. Seem to be picking up steam here as Donarski lays that one in. Rather, Ryan lays that one in to give the team the lead.
Yeah, Iowa State already 6 points in the paint here early in the second quarter.
Ejiofor.
There's Ejiofor with the answer for WVU. That's her first bucket.
Yeah, Iowa State taking a page out of West Virginia's playbook. If you'd have said coming in, one team's going to lead the other in points in the paint, you'd have thought it would have been West Virginia.
Dew swishes a 3, her second triple. Only a 30% three-point shooter this year, but she's the only Cyclone to hit from beyond the arc so far.
At 6'2", versatile, can play really any position on the floor 2 through 5. Looked like Iowa State might have got by with a little contact there.
Ryan goes to the cup once again and converts. And Coach Carey wants to talk things over.
Her own power, but she wasn't able to. She hopped into the locker room on her left foot, holding up that right foot. They just went and got her mother out of the stands and brought her back to the locker room as well.
Thanks for the update, Angelica. And wow, Coach, I mean, that seems to be the story of Coach Mike Carey's recent tenure here at West Virginia. Injuries and running out of depth, not for a lack of depth. KK Dean's out for the season. To lose Nyblack for any extent of this game is terrible for West Virginia.
Yeah, it's 2 of your leaders. It's not just 2 players. It's not just depth. It's leadership that you lose on the floor and somebody that brings some energy, some life to the Mountaineers.
Speaking of bringing life to the Mountaineers, Savannah Samuel has done so off the bench. 2 3-pointers. She's just a 24% shooter from three-point land on the year. Mountaineers now trail by 2. They're 2 for 7 in the second quarter after a hot start in the first period. Ashley Jones misses that triple attempt. It'll be West Virginia ball. The Cyclones had made 3 of their last 3 field goals before that miss from Jones. ISU 2 for 6 from beyond the arc. This is one of the best three-point shooting teams in the country. In fact, ranked second in three-pointers made. 306 on the season now if you include the 2 made by Naimir Du, but she's not really the one that normally gives Coach Fenley that three-point success.
Well, and you got to give Iowa State credit. The three's not dropping because West Virginia's taking it away. They've really stepped up and put good ball pressure. But to Iowa State's credit, they've driven the ball to the rim. If you're going to come up and put pressure, you got to be willing to go by, and that's what Iowa State's done.
Smith inbounds it to Gray. Quick pass to Samuel. She just couldn't maintain possession of it.
Yeah, really good look here. But Smith, the ball goes right through her hands. Nice cut.
5 turnovers for West Virginia. The Cyclones have committed 7. Donarski, ball fake from deep, in and out. Have to think those will start falling for the Cyclones soon. Donarski with the rejection and the steal.
Yeah, it's like a volleyball spike. Spiked it right off her teammate back to herself.
The sophomore's going to try to take it herself there, and she picks up a foul and will go to the free throw line with just under 5 to go in the half.
I think a little frustration here from Mike Carey, asking for the same contact on the other end, not getting it.
In for the Mountaineers, 0-0, Jayla Hemingway. At the line for Iowa State, Lexi Donarski.
Coach Carey in his 34th season as a head coach, former Big 12 Coach of the Year back in 2014.
Yeah, again, we talked about Iowa State attacking the rim. Donarski, this time, a ton of ball pressure, just keeps going. They're getting their feet in the paint. They're making it tough on West Virginia to guard with their small guards. West Virginia done a great job to take the 3 away. Iowa State's countering that by being ultra aggressive.
Donarski 0 for her first 4 from the field, but she does go 2 for 2 there from the line. She averages just over 14 points per game. This Iowa State team had a big core of freshmen last year. Now as sophomores making much greater impact. As Hemingway commits a foul going for the rebound. That's her second. That's now 3 Mountaineers with 2 fouls. Hemingway has 2, Martinez has 2, so does Quinterly.
Yeah, the 2 threes bothering West Virginia. You could tell West Virginia wanted to go inside in this game. Iowa State gets in foul trouble, and that actually probably hurts West Virginia's strategy because now Iowa State's gone to that 2-3 zone.
Donarski hits the 3 that time. She's a 38% three-point shooter this season. One of those Cyclones that can really hurt you from deep. That's 76 on the season for her, and the Cyclones have their largest lead of the night.
Yeah, and it's pick your poison. She's driven you to the rim. Now you stay down. She's smart enough player to shoot that thing.
Smith with a quick step back. Jones has the rebound, and Gray fouled her.
Number 21, Ari Gray.
If West Virginia keeps up fouling at this pace, they're not going to have any players available by the end of the game.
Well, that's now 4 players with 2 fouls for WVU. Gray, the Cleveland native and transfer from Xavier. She had a really good showing last time these teams met. Both her and Yamaya Morris had 14 apiece. She matches up here against Ashley Jones, Iowa State's all-time leading scorer. Jones, no good, still has yet to hit a field goal. West Virginia down by 7, but doing an okay job of containing the Cyclones, particularly Jones.
Yeah, Gray used her length at 6 feet, shadowed her, kept her in front, stayed between her and the rim, made it a really tough shot for Jones.
Big offensive rebound by Ejiofor. Smith can't connect on the second chance. Gray gets fouled by Donarski going for the loose ball. It'll stay with West Virginia. That's Donarski's second.
Gray really hustled after the ball, forced Donarski here to commit the foul. You see Gray hustling after the ball. Donarski just has no choice but to hook her and is whistled for the foul.
So Donarski is going to take a seat. The Jones sisters on the floor together for Iowa State, along with Ryan, Du, and Jordao. Ejiofor posting up. Gray's going to shoot it over her. She hits.
Nice sequence here for Gray. Good defensive stop on one end. Gets a bucket after hustling after the ball and forcing Iowa State into a foul.
6 different scorers now for West Virginia as the Mountaineers trail by 2 possessions with 3 minutes to go till halftime. Jones, 15-footer, no good. Ejiofor can't beat her to it, but Jones lost it. It'll be West Virginia ball.
But again, you can see West Virginia going over top of the screen, forcing Jones to put the ball on the deck and make her head toward the rim. Now, Iowa State's had some success with that, but that time they had help from Blessings.
Chance to cut it to a 1-possession game here. Ryan kicked it, quick stoppage. In for West Virginia, Smith, Ejiofor, Hemingway, Gray, and Samuel.
Now Iowa State's gone back to their man-to-man here.
Smith from the corner, hit that one. It is a 1-possession game. Smith with her first 3-pointer of the night. Another deflection, another steal, and another run out for WVU. Samuel to the cup, no good. Ejiofor there for the putback. Tie game.
Nice job, Ejiofor running the floor, not giving up on the play. Gets the stick back.
Cyclones scoreless over the last 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Meanwhile, it's a 7-0 run for West Virginia to draw level.
A little extra energy on this end of the floor now for West Virginia.
Ryan, open look at a 3. Even though Iowa State has not been great from beyond the arc so far, you'll knock down an open look like that, Will Ryan, the sophomore from Kansas.
Yeah, that time Gray actually becomes a screener and screens her own player. Smith couldn't get through. And Iowa State gets their really first real clean look at a 3.
Ryan entered this contest as the 3rd best creator in NCAA Division I women's basketball. 209 assists, ranking 3rd in the nation. She's got 7 points, all of them coming in the second quarter. She's driving here against Madison Smith. Inside post move, scoops it up and good. She's now got 9 points, and it's a 5-point Cyclone lead.
Uses her size advantage, just backs Maddie Smith down and just goes to work in the paint.
5'11" Ryan against the 5'5" Smith. Final minute of action in the first half. Hemingway, long 2, no good. Iowa State's going to get possession here.
West Virginia got to find a way to get some offensive rebounds. They got to get second shot opportunities.
Ryan, a big reason why the Cyclones lead by 5. She's got a game-high 9 points, as well as 2 rebounds and 2 assists. That helps, too. Ashley Jones finally has a field goal. And it's now an 8-point Iowa State lead. Yeah, its largest lead so far.
Can't give Jones that kind of space. Gray stays down, tries to keep her in front. And Jones makes her pay.
Jayla Hemingway.
Answer from Jayla Hemingway, her first bucket. Iowa State one last chance here to add to its lead before the break.
At the end of each quarter now, we've seen the ball in Jones's hand. And West Virginia counters by running a double, so they're forcing the ball to get it out of her hands.
So another Iowa State turnover. That plagued the Cyclones in the first quarter, gotten a little better with ball security in the second quarter, but still 9 turnovers in the first half. Madison Smith, 2 to shoot, got it up, but it's good. And that's a wrap on the first half of action.
Yeah, nice.
One thing he did not like was he said we did not take care of the ball. Need to limit those turnovers here in the second half. What he thinks will be big is keeping the ball in the lane, and they have to execute on defensive rebounds here in the second.
Thanks, Angelica. Cyclones with the opening possession of the third period. Jones missed that one. Ashley Jones, Iowa State's all-time leading scorer. 8 points in the first half. She's made just 1 field goal tonight.
She has, but she's also gotten herself to the free throw line where she's really done the bulk of her damage in this one. Iowa State interested to see there. They open back up the second half in man-to-man.
Jones almost lost that one, almost had it stripped away. Good passing, due with an open look at a 3, her third third triple, one in each quarter. Cyclones now by 9.
Yeah, and you can see the frustration on Coach Carey's face. He's yelling for his defense to extend. They got to get out. They got to take that three-point line away, force Iowa State back into driving the basketball.
Coach, your thoughts on the way West Virginia did that in the first half?
Well, I thought they did a really nice job. They got up the line, they put a ton of ball pressure on, really tried to keep the ball in the ball handler's hand. And to Iowa State's credit, Ryan did a nice job of going and using her size in the paint and scoring on Maddie Smith.
Martinez had the bucket there for West Virginia. Ryan traveled with it, or carried it, I should say. Quick substitution for the Cyclones. Kane, who started the contest, has re-entered. Jordal takes a seat. So for Iowa State, Donarski, Ryan, Kane, Dew, and Ashley Jones. For West Virginia, it's Smith, Quinterly, Hemingway, Martinez, who has the ball, and Yamaya Morris in the low post.
Yeah, and those players that all had 2 fouls that we talked about in the first half, really for both sides, are now back available to their coaches.
Those players for West Virginia, by the way, Hemingway, Martinez, Quinterly, and Gray. It's Hemingway from the foul line, front iron, for an easy rebound for Ashley Jones, who, by the way, has more than 1,000 of those in her Iowa State career. Only 3 other Cyclones have accomplished that feat. Quinterly picks up her 3rd foul.
Yeah, not a real common feat to score 1,000 and get 1,000 boards.
Donarski receives the inbound pass for Iowa State. 15 to shoot, working against Quinterly. Pops it out to Dew, who traveled.
But again, that's what Coach Mike Carey wants. He wants West Virginia to run them off the three-point line. That time, you run them off the three-point line, you get a turnover from the travel.
That's the 11th Cyclone turnover in this one. Iowa State leading by 7. We were talking about history-making players a moment ago. Emily Ryan, the starting point guard for Iowa State, has done her fair share of that. There she is with the steal on the Smith pass. Can she go coast to coast? What a great finish that is. 11 points for her. She's the first player on either team in double figures. We've got a foul.
Yeah, here it is. Maddie Smith tries into that ball to Martinez. Ryan feels very comfortable going right through Smith. She's done it multiple times in the paint tonight.
So, by the way, Ryan, 3 assists to her credit tonight. That moves her into 4th place all-time. Single season at Iowa State.
Ryan, just a sophomore, going to have plenty of opportunities over the next couple of years to even break those marks.
She's 3rd in the country in total assists this season. Quinterly gets rid of it. 10 to shoot for the Mountaineers. Martinez walked with it.
Really good defense here by Iowa State, forcing West Virginia to score over the top of them. West Virginia, as you can see, wants to get that ball in the lane. They can't. And that's what Iowa State does defensively. They're known for it. They back up. They keep everything in front of them. They really try to limit the ability for you to get into the lane.
Cyclones have committed 11 turnovers. West Virginia has now committed 7. It's a 3-possession lead for Iowa State. Jones steps back but can't connect. Here's Hemingway with a 3. No good. Jones has the rebound.
You can see how important Jones is. West Virginia going over top screens. They're going to chase Jones off the three-point line. They know if they go under the screen, they're going to get stuck, and she's a good enough shooter that she's going to pull the trigger behind that screen.
Tie up there a moment ago. West Virginia possession now. Coach, what does West Virginia need to do to more effectively attack Iowa State? We've seen the Cyclones throw different defenses at them today. They've seemed to react well, but have gone a little cold here to start the second half.
Yeah, I think West Virginia's got to look to shoot that ball from the three-point line. They got to attack, penetrate, pitch, because when you attack, you're drawing the attention of all 5 Iowa State Cyclones in that lane.
Jones working against Martinez. Kicks it out to Ryan, who has it stripped by Quinterly, but she gets it back. 15 to shoot. Ryan down low against Quinterly, and 1.
I'll tell you what, Ryan is having a night. She is doing work against these West Virginia guards on the block. Not known for it, known coming in as an assist person. She's gone straight to the rim multiple times and posted up these smaller West Virginia guards, Quinterly and Smith.
And that foul may be more significant than getting Ryan to the line for a chance at an and one. J.J. Quinterly has now gone to the bench. 4 fouls now after picking up 2 in quick succession here to start the second half.
Yeah, and West Virginia loses its leading scorer from the first half to 4 fouls early in the third quarter.
Meanwhile, Iowa State takes its largest lead of 12 points.
West Virginia, 4 players with 2 or more fouls. Hemingway, Gray, Quinterly now picking up her 4th, and Martinez.
And how important Quinterly has been in KK Dean's absence. The true freshman was terrific in a reserve role for the Mountaineers through the first 2/3 of the season as Ryan goes to the cup once again. 16 points for her. Mountaineers can't find an answer for her defensively right now. Quinterly averaging about 12 points per game through West Virginia's last 9 and was terrific in that double overtime win against Kansas State this week.
Yeah, and West Virginia's in a tough spot here. Ryan using her size, so you think, okay, put somebody bigger on her, but then you put somebody bigger, she's going to be a lot quicker. They're not used to playing that. She's going to use the perimeter to her advantage.
7-0 Iowa State run. Cyclones lead it by 14, looking to build on that lead. Iowa State can clinch the number 2 seed in the Big 12 tournament with a win and can also stay in the hunt for a share of the regular season title, though that would also require Baylor to lose tomorrow against Texas Tech. Madison Smith ends a field goal drought for West Virginia.
And that's a key for West Virginia. Another way you can really get yourself going here is to score in transition.
Meanwhile, Mountaineers have won 3 in a row, including that double overtime victory against Kansas State, in which Madison Smith played all 50 minutes, becoming the first Mountaineer to log 2 games with 50 minutes played.
Nice job, Hemingway staying in front, forcing that ball up, and then he strips it.
Mountaineers down by 12. Martinez tries to chip away, but misses off the front iron.
West Virginia got to find a way to get Martinez going. Just 2 points. And that's somebody who has been a leading scorer for West Virginia in multiple games this season.
So a strong third quarter for Iowa State. Cyclones find themselves in front ready with Deans out for the remainder of the season. Maybe Nyblack the rest of the night. It's a big loss.
It's huge. You look at the first period that she played, Iowa State struggled from the field. Ever since, Iowa State's really kind of been lights out here. You know, they're shooting the ball 44%. West Virginia just 29% so far in the game.
So Nyblack continuing to get attention on the West Virginia bench. Meanwhile, Jones went 1 for 2 from the foul line. She now has 9 points. Iowa State 4 for 7 from the field in the third quarter. West Virginia just 2 for 10. The Mountaineers have made just 1 of their last 7 attempts. Make that 1 of last 8. But an offensive rebound to keep possession with the team in white. Smith misses. Foul on Ejiofor. It'll be Iowa State ball.
Yeah, I tell you, West Virginia taking really tough shots. Samuel and Smith take really contested shots. Hemingway actually had the best look coming off the ball screen and didn't let it fly. Passed up on it, gave that ball to Samuel, and that was a tough look she had.
Mountaineers now 2 for 12 in the third quarter. They started the game out okay. First quarter shot 33%, shot 30% in the second quarter, now shooting below 20%. Meanwhile, it's Emily Ryan who has been absolutely stellar for the Cyclones. 18 points.
Yeah, playing with a ton of confidence. That time, Gray, the bigger defender on her, she still goes up and scores over.
Madison Smith.
Smith has the answer. She now has 7, but really the story is Ryan, while Ashley Jones has struggled just a hair here at the Coliseum. Ryan has been terrific already, well over her average. She averages 12 points per game this season.
Yeah, West Virginia really has done a pretty good job on Jones. Just 8 points here. One of the best scorers to ever play in the Big 12. I think if you're West Virginia, you'll take that. It's the job that Ryan's done that West Virginia hasn't had an answer for.
Ashley Jones has 9 and 9, 9 points, 9 rebounds. She's nearing a double-double. Meanwhile, West Virginia's double-double queen, Esmery Martinez, has just checked back in, sending Samuel, who just picked up that foul, to the bench.
Yeah, that's a player West Virginia needs, Martinez, to really get going here. She's capable. She's really a mismatch problem. She plays the post for West Virginia, but she plays it like a guard. I mean, she can step away. She can shoot the three. She's got a really nice touch from the outside.
Martinez has 3 fouls. J.J. Quinterly has 4. She picked up 2 in the first 4 minutes of this third quarter. And that potentially is another big loss for the Mountaineers. She hasn't been disqualified yet, but Quinterly has been one of the hottest shooters on this team over the last 9 games.
Yeah, you factor in Deans' injury, Nye blackout with the injury, and now the fact that you got Quinterly with 4 fouls. While she's not injured, she's not able to be on the floor, and that really hurts West Virginia.
Gray's long 2 is no good. Mountaineers trailing by 15 in the waning moments of the third quarter. Jones with it at the top of the arc. Hemingway hassling her. Good defense. Ryan gets it. Great pass inside. And Kane is hacked and will go to the foul line.
Yeah, this time West Virginia gets a little help. But Ryan unselfishly finds the open player on the backside block. And Kane's going to get herself 2 foul shots out of it.
That's what Ryan does best. She's done a little bit more scoring than creating tonight. 20 points, 3 assists, but it was the entry pass that sent Kane to the line.
It was Ejiofor that had helped over off Kane. You can see a little bit adjustment there out of West Virginia to try to give some support to Maddie Smith. And Ryan unselfishly gives that ball up, and Kane gets 2 free throws.
And she did hit both. It was Ari Gray, by the way, who committed the foul for West Virginia to send Kane to the line. So another player with 3 fouls for head coach Mike Carey. Martinez 3, Gray 3, Quinterly 4.
Again, Hemingway passes up an open look from 3 in the corner. This time it pays off. Smith with a jumper.
She stepped in and hit it. She has 9 points, but the Mountaineers still trail by 15. Ryan running the point, going to take it right to the rack, and it's good. Emily Ryan with 22. That ties her career high set at Oklahoma earlier this season. The sophomore from Kansas, terrific tonight. Gray has the answer for West Virginia.
Yeah, and if you're West Virginia, you've got to have an answer here for Ryan. You've got to get early help, and not just early help, help that stays in front of Ryan.
She scored in a bunch of ways, but has had a bunch of layups. Going for another one. She'll go to the line.
Yeah, she's feeling it. She knows. She knows Maddie Smith has no chance of stopping her inside right now. And the only prayer for Maddie Smith to stop her is to foul.
She had 9 in the first half. She has 11 here in the third quarter.
It's become all of Iowa State's offense. And why change it? It's worked.
Scratch that. 13 here in the third quarter, with a chance to build with 90 seconds to go. And that is the career high for Ryan, 23 points.
Yeah, a sophomore that's got such a bright future. Tonight we're getting to see her score, but she's known in the country for her ability to dish out the rock.
Unanimous all Big 12 freshman team last season. She's now 4th place on the single season assist list at Iowa State after picking up a trio of assists already tonight. Gray again with an answer to keep the deficit at 15 for WVU. But Ryan has doubled up her average, 24 points, a career high. About to enter the final minute of the third. This time Ryan dishes to Donarski, no good. Ejiofor scoops up the board.
And a rare stop in this game by West Virginia.
Ejiofor will try a long 2. Switch.
Well, if West Virginia's to find a way to get back in it, they've got to string stops together. Last time, nice job. You got to stop, but you got to find a way to string them together if you're going to make a run here.
Cyclones looking to secure a win to secure the 2 seed at next week's Big 12 tournament. Ashley Jones, no good. But it might stay with the Cyclones here. Yes, it will.
Yeah, the rare chance that you get an Iowa State miss, you're unable to secure that offensive or that defensive rebound.
Jones is 6 for 8 from the free throw line, but the Cyclones' all-time leading scorer is just 1 for 9 from the field, including 1 for 4 from three-point range. She's on pace for a double-double.
It can be hard to get going when your teammates scoring and you're going long droughts between shots.
Shot clock is dark. West Virginia has an opportunity here to hold for the final shot of the third quarter, trailing by 13.
Chance to cut it to 10 here.
Smith kicks to Martinez. Inside to Ejiofor. A Cyclone fell down in the paint. That's an easy bucket and a good way for WVU to end the period. Team. She had 10 points against WVU in the previous meeting this season, which Iowa State won by 16 in Ames to begin Big 12 play. She had 16 assists in that game and was 1 rebound shy of a triple-double. She's putting up another packed stat sheet tonight.
Yeah, and if you're West Virginia, you look at the scoreboard, down 11 here, entering the fourth against the number 8 team in the country. How do you get back in it? It's going to have to start on the defensive end. You've got to find a way to get some stops here. And if you're West Virginia, when you do get that stop, you've got to find a way to get that rebound.
Coach, they also did shoot it a little better in the third quarter. At one point, we're 2 for 10, ended the period 8 for 19 as Donarski hits for Iowa State to extend it to a 13-point lead.
You're right that West Virginia actually saw the ball go through the hoop. The unfortunate part is they couldn't close the gap because of how well Iowa State was playing offensively.
Mountaineers have done a solid job on Ashley Jones, Iowa State's all-time leading scorer. Mountaineers still find themselves down double digits here in the fourth quarter. WVU locked into the 7th seed, but has won 3 in a row.
Got to give Iowa State a ton of credit, too, for the job they've done defensively on Esmery Martinez.
Well, Coach Carey might like to have a word about that one. Ball was tipped out of bounds. It has been awarded possession to Iowa State.
West Virginia coming now, extending that pressure to full court.
Out of the press, Cyclones will settle into their offense. Iowa State needs this one to clinch the 2 seed in the Big 12 tournament. Tough take by Donarski. She draws the foul. And bad news, it's Martinez who picks up her 4th.
Again, Iowa State attacking the rim. Martinez gets beat, tries to block it from behind, gets just a piece of the hand. Tough break if you're West Virginia.
So Donarski makes her first of 2, an 84% foul shooter on the year. She's 3 for 3 tonight. Misses the second. Martinez is going to stay in the game with 4 fouls here. J.J. Quinterly still on the bench. We haven't seen her since the early moments of the third quarter. She also has 4 fouls.
Yeah, I think if you're head coach Mike Carey, you play with one until they pick up their 5th, and then you bring the other one off the bench.
Right now, Samuel in possession for West Virginia. Gray, Ejiofor, Martinez, and Smith on the floor. Samuel works inside, can't finish. Martinez with the offensive board, gets the second chance points.
Just her second bucket of the night. Martinez really need to get going here for West Virginia. That may be the one that gets her jump started.
She averages 11 points per game, a team best 9 rebounds per contest. KK Deans is West Virginia's leading scorer, but she, of course, is done for the season with a knee injury. Long rebound on the missed 3 and another foul.
Number 22,
that one's on Ejiofor, her 3rd.
Checking in for Iowa State, number 30.
This is a long rebound off a long shot. See, Ejiofor tries to swat at it, push that ball out to the perimeter, gets called for the foul.
So Martinez has exited the game with 4 fouls for West Virginia. Hemingway checks in. Cyclones by 12. Donarski lost it. WVU gets possession. 14 turnovers now for the Cyclones.
Yeah, Martinez visibly frustrated at the evening. Been in foul trouble, been hampered by those fouls, and on the bench a lot tonight.
More than 1,400 career wins at all levels between the two head coaches in this one. Mike Carey for WVU, Bill Fenley for Iowa State. Also a combined 48 seasons of coaching experience. Samuel attacks and draws the foul. Dew commits it, and listen to the ovation, maybe sarcastically, from the Gold and Blue faithful here in Morgantown.
Well, I think Coach Finley's got a point here. He's asking for a travel. I believe there was a travel, but the officials whistled the foul. You're right, Mountaineer fans a little frustrated at maybe the amount of foul calls against their club tonight. But I tell you, Iowa State has been really aggressive.
Samuel just a 56% free throw shooter, but she hit them both. 8 points for her.
And West Virginia's got it back to 10.
Mountaineers have won 3 in a row, looking for a top 10 victory. It would be one heck of a comeback if they can make it happen on their home floor tonight.
Good early help there by Ejiofor. Kept Ryan from getting to the rim.
Just 10 to shoot. Ryan inside to Kane. Good move past Ejiofor off the glass and in.
Nice move by Morgan Kane. Got Ejiofor on the help. Was able to seal. Nice post move.
Becoming a lost art, maybe a bit, Coach?
Oh, absolutely. And just when you think Iowa State's lulling you to sleep with threes and drives to the rim, they spread you out and throw it inside.
Another drive to the rim, another bucket for Lexi Donarski. She's in double figures now with 10.
And just like that, lead goes from 10 back to 14. All that work West Virginia did has been erased.
Another whistle, another foul. Might have been Dew's second.
West Virginia taking a page out of Iowa State's playbook tonight. So Iowa State's had success driving it to the rim. Now you've seen West Virginia the last couple of possessions do the same.
For the Cyclones, number 20, Aubrey Jones, and number 25, Beatrice Jordan.
So Samuel's going to go to the line once again, her second trip of the fourth quarter. Esmeri Martinez with 4 fouls has just re-entered the game. And Quinterly is sitting at the scorer's table, likely getting ready to come in, perhaps for Samuel.
Coach Mike Carey going to roll the dice here, put 2 players on the floor with 6 minutes to go that each have 4 fouls.
Have to, though, right? Those are the 2 players that give you the best chance at pulling off a remarkable comeback.
Yeah, you got 2 scorers. You're putting 2 scorers back in the game.
For the Mountaineers, number 11, J.J. Quinterly.
Samuel connected on both there. She's 4 for 4 and now is in double figures.
And she's been a bright spot offensively, and she stays in the game for that reason.
Skip pass from Ryan to Donarski. 12 seconds to shoot. Inside to Jordan. Aubrey Jones pops one. No good. And Ejiofor has it. It's a 4-possession game. Mountaineers get a stop. Will they get a bucket?
Step 1 complete. If you're West Virginia, you've had success attacking. Keep attacking.
That one no good and rebounded by Iowa State. So the Mountaineers come up empty on that possession. Still down by 12. Ryan, the stellar sophomore point guard who has put together a career day with 24, slowing the tempo down a bit for the Cyclones. Working against Smith, has the size advantage and gets 2 more.
Yeah, this time resorted into backing it out. Couldn't beat her to the rim, so this time turns her back, plays as a post player, takes it to the opposite side and finishes.
Quinterly goes inside. No good. Loose ball once again. Martinez fighting for it and gets the board. Over to Samuel, who has a season high, career high, 10 points tonight for WVU. Martinez, a look at a 3. No good. Ejiofor there, has it stripped. Foul on the floor. It'll stay, so we'll just continue on.
Yeah, it looked like Aubrey Jones just kind of tripped up into the back of her center. They both go fall into the floor. what's weird in the play is that the whistle still goes against Iowa State. It actually goes against Emily Ryan on the rebound.
And by the way, that is Ryan's first. West Virginia, 3 team fouls in the fourth quarter. Cyclones also 3 team fouls. When we're talking about fouling, the big story, Esmeri Martinez and J.J. Quinterly, both in for WVU right now, but both players with 4 fouls. Here is Quinterly on the drive. Tries to go over Jordow, but can't. Smith with the long rebound.
Both players have looked a little out of rhythm, and that can happen when you sit that long. But there you go. Quinterly knocks one down.
Mountaineers will need more of that here in the final 5 minutes if they want to hang tight with the Cyclones. Quinterly has 9. Only West Virginia player in double figures tonight is Savannah Samuel, who has a career-high 10. She averages 4 points per game. Meanwhile, Ryan, the star point guard for Iowa State, a career-high 26.
A nice job that time by West Virginia. 3 players converging, keeping Ryan out of the paint.
Double team on Jones. She somehow maintains possession. And Quinterly has just committed her 5th foul.
Number 11, J.J. Quinterly.
Yeah, they call her here for a reach, and I actually thought live it looked like she put her hand on the ball first. And as Jones ripped across her body, it made it look like more contact. So the ball gets loose. There's a little bit of a scrum for it. Here she has it, but it's the strength of Jones when she pivots.
Checking in for the Mountaineers.
When Jones pivots right here, and Quinterly leaves that hands on, it looks like almost like a hook.
Tough one for Quinterly, who was disqualified with 4:09 to go. She had 9 points tonight for the Mountaineers, including a 3 just a moment ago.
It's kind of been West Virginia's luck. The one player that hits a 3, now she's disqualified.
Martinez also with 4 fouls, picks up the board for WVU, trailing by 11. And without now one of its top scorers over the last 10 games. Ejiofor put back no good. Another offensive rebound. Martinez can't finish off the glass. Cyclones with a chance for a run out. Ryan's going to slow it down. About 3.5 minutes to go. Cyclones up by 11. They need this one to secure the 2 seed at the Big 12 tournament. There it is. Ashley Jones now with 12 points. That's her second 3-pointer.
Yeah, nice play design there.
2 seed at the Big 12 tournament. Oklahoma locked into the 4 seed. Baylor is the number 1 seed, plays Texas Tech tomorrow. That game of significance if Iowa State holds on to win this one, because if the Bears lose to Tech, that would mean Iowa State would share the regular season crown with the Bears.
Iowa State collapsing on Martinez, not giving her any space in the paint.
Mountaineers down by 14. Well, make it 12 as Madison Smith connects. She's now in double figures and has a team-high 11 as the Mountaineers extend their pressure. Meanwhile, WVU already locked into the 7 seed. That means it'll play in first-round action Thursday on Big 12 Now on ESPN+. West Virginia will take on 10-seed TCU, a team it swept this season. Jordow back on the score sheet for the first time in the second half. She now has 6.
Yeah, worked hard on that possession. Iowa State, really a nice job to find her posted up in the middle of that lane.
A couple of Mountaineers in double figures in rebounds. Esmeri Martinez with 11. Blessing Ejiofor with 10. Both players on the court right now. Martinez hits a long 2. She's now 1 bucket away from a double-double.
Just another Mountaineer, though, that's been hampered by that early foul trouble. Had to sit for a large portion of that first half. Has started to find her way here, but it might be too little too late.
Having to sit players on the bench has been an issue for Coach Mike Carey tonight. Not of his doing. J.J. Quinterly fouled out. Esmeri Martinez playing with 4 fouls. A couple of other players have 3. Of course, KK Dean's done for the season with an injury. She's missed the last 10 games for WVU. And maybe a story entering Big 12 tournament week. What's Corey Nyblack's status? She picked up an injury in the second quarter. We haven't seen her since. She obviously is a key component of this West Virginia team. Speaking of fouling, that's going to be it for Martinez. She just picked up her 5th foul with 1:41 to go.
Yeah, came up. I think she got called for a little shove there on that rebound. Picks up her 5th foul. And again, Coach Mike Carey's just run out of players, run out of choices.
He chooses Ari Gray here to replace Martinez. So Esmeri disqualified, 8 points, 11 rebounds. She was a field goal shy of what would have been her 10th double-double of the season. She has 24 career double-doubles, which ranks 5th in West Virginia history.
And if I'm not mistaken, West Virginia only has 2 eligible players now on its bench that are dressed.
You've got Gianna Cunningham and Yamaya Morris. And that would be it, Coach. Good observation. Meanwhile, Cyclones now lead it by 13. That one out of bounds, last touch by Iowa State. Angelica Trinone can add something to the conversation about West Virginia's depth.
Well, if you remember the first time that these two played, West Virginia only had 7 players available. That due to health and safety protocols, but also some fouls. Mike Carey said he had to actually put guards in the post to finish out that game. Not at that point quite yet, but as you see, Esmeri Martinez on the bench, Kari Niblack out with an injury. They didn't play the first time around. His post players and numbers are dwindling as this one nears the close.
Samuel, who already has a career high, missed that one. She's got 10, one of 2 Mountaineers in double figures. Iowa State looking for its 3rd straight win over West Virginia. Cyclones have never won 3 in a row in this series. West Virginia leads the all-time series 12-8, but with a minute to go now, this one in hand for the Cyclones, who are going to lock up the 2 seed at the Big 12 tournament. Ryan, 5 to shoot. Can she add to her career high tally? She'll go to the line one more time. She's found a home there tonight.
That's typically true of players who are really aggressive. And tonight, Emily Ryan has been the ultimate aggressor, attacking the rim at every opportunity.
Ryan, 87% free throw shooter on the season. Gray center to the stripe. She's 3 for 3 from the line tonight, misses that one. But she's got a career-high 26. A terrific performance for the sophomore from Kansas, a former unanimous Big 12 all-freshman team selection.
It's about the only thing she's done wrong is miss a free throw.
You'd be about right there, Coach. Iowa State leading by 14. Hemingway takes it to the basket, lost it. Another whistle. And another stoppage with just over half a minute to play here. Cyclones going to lock up the number 2 seed in the Big 12. Also projected as a 2 seed in the national tournament. And with this victory, Coach Fenley's squad will set a record for Big 12 wins in a season. Cyclones approaching their 14th Big 12 victory. They also finished with 13 Big 12 wins during the 99-2000 season. Guess what? They won the Big 12 tournament that year. Also achieved that feat in 2018-19. But this one will go down as a historic win for Iowa State. Not just, Coach, because of the Big 12 wins record, but also because Iowa State now going for its 25th win in the regular season. 24 regular season wins, already a program record, but this will now be the 9th time under Coach Fenley that the Cyclones have won 25 or more contests in a season.
Yeah, just remarkable. Speaks to the program that Iowa State has. And it also shows you that West Virginia has done a tremendous job of being able to lead this series.
Well, the other coach, Mike Carey, not too thrilled with how things have wound up tonight. Double technical. He's been tossed. His assistant, Bet Shelby, trying to reel him in.
Yeah, just signs of frustration. A long night, a difficult night. He's lost players to injuries tonight. He's had players disqualified to fouls. It's just a sign of frustration. And he's going to get an early exit, 14 seconds early.
About the loudest this Coliseum crowd has been, though, tonight for their head coach. It's a double technical. It likely will not matter for anything more than the score line.
At the line for Iowa State, Lexi Denarski.
We have a personal foul, followed by 2 technical fouls, and they will be shot in that order.
And Denarski misses the first of many free throws coming her way here.
Yeah, she's shooting the personal foul, the actual foul that occurred on her. And now Iowa State will get 4 foul shots, 2 different technical free throws. So you can tell he's frustrated. You have to team up here. He's completely crossed half court. He's on Iowa State's bench at this point, basically. And then once he got the first one, you could tell he was ready for the early exit.
So here's Emily Ryan at the free throw line. They're going to shoot more foul shots than a Knights of Columbus free throw shooting contest. Emily Ryan had an opportunity here to really put her career high out of reach, but she's missed them back-to-back. Cyclones 1 for 4 from the line. These free throws don't matter. They're up by 15, make it 16 as Ryan hits, but these Mountaineer fans are cheering as though a championship is on the line here as a reaction to the way things have unfolded.
The only thing that's going to matter here, like you said, is Emily Ryan's just setting that career high mark a little higher and a little higher. You can see assistant coach Betts Shelby trying to get Coach Carey out of the situation. Iowa State has emptied its bench for the final 14 seconds.
So the Cyclones are about to lock up the number 2 seed in the Big 12 tournament. Can the Mountaineers get one more on the board? Ejiofor put back foul. And again, another sarcastic cheer from the old gold and blue faithful, many of them on their feet here at the Coliseum.
Timeout, Iowa State.
And Coach Fendley with a 30-second timeout either wants to talk things over with entertaining, as always, at the WVU Coliseum. 0.8 of a second in the regular season finale, blessing Ejiofor at the free throw line for West Virginia. Mountaineers going to drop to 500. 14-14 overall. They'll finish 7-11 in Big 12 play in the regular season. Locked into the 7th seed at the Big 12 tournament. First round action beginning Thursday against 10 seed TCU. Meanwhile, number 8 Iowa State